Hello, Don in London here. It's July 1st, 2009. Where's half the year gone? Very quickly, it feels like for me. And my video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My favourite addiction substance over the years, alcohol, probably transferred into types of food, and I can do that now. I'm on dried apricots at the moment as something I really enjoy eating. There can be side effects though, same as drink. But you know, being addicted to anything, maybe it's our personality, our addictive personality. I don't know the answer to all these questions, and I think it really comes down to what you find out for yourself around addictions to substance or behaviour. So for me, if it wasn't drink, it was work. If it wasn't work, it was a relationship. If it wasn't a relationship, it was probably something else. Cross-addicted, I could be. Trying to excel in whatever I did, pushing myself to extremes, highs and lows, to the exclusion of all else. And maybe in there was some balance missed. And somebody said, when they were talking about their own personal balance, they said it's something that I see as I swing by to the next extreme. So life is difficult once we get to a place of we are determined, self-willed, self-obsessed, sort of me. I've got to do this, I've got to prove it, all the rest of it. And self-will kept me drinking a long time because I wanted to be one of the boys who would hold his liquor and then be a part of whatever party was going on and not find myself out, if you like. And a lot of things to do with drinking and that ease or that feeling of conviviality that we had along the way is lost when we need to drink because we're dependent, or we're dependent on some form of behaviour. So it could be eating, it could be anything. So for me now, you know, July 1st, I'm part of a fellowship. I don't actually speak for the fellowship. I speak for myself, from my experience of recovery. And the fellowship is Alcoholics Anonymous, and I make no excuse, and I don't worry about what other people might think of it. It's what it does for me which is important, and it keeps me looking and seeing the balance of what can be for just one day, this day. And AA as a fellowship has 12 steps of action for the individual and 12 traditions which hold the whole thing together. But we share at the beginning of every meeting the preamble, which describes what AA is there to do. And it only has one purpose. Here we go. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's simply what it is there to help a person be sober a day at a time. And maybe indulge in some other addictive behaviour like coffee and caffeine for me. But it's less of an ailment or less of a problem for me to actually, I suppose, cross-addict into coffee and caffeine. It has some sort of acceptability to me, but too much will put me over the edge as well, jittery. So, on a daily basis, simply, AA helps me keep sober. And if I keep sober, then the rest of life can work. And that is because I turn up and see reality, hopefully, with less filters, old ideas and old behaviour, and less denial about what I see. So less of the I can't believe it moments, anger, frustration and depression associated with not getting my own way. Or just being able to see what I can do rather than what I cannot do. But we need the balance in that too. So for me today, 12 steps of action, open, honest and willing, hopefully, most days. And those 12 steps of action for July really focus on step 7 in my videos, which is about having our shortcomings removed. And it actually reads step 7 as, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. And my shortcomings, if you like, is not enough faith, not enough courage, and not enough self-esteem. So to improve my faith, courage and self-esteem to get on with life, this is how I see it, there is a suggestion that a higher power can remove this from us, or remove our, not remove, I suppose, yeah, it is remove our shortcomings, which is relying too much on fear, brave facing and ego, when courage, faith and confidence are better for us. And how do we get that? Well, it's experience of life, it's learning the wisdom of life, learning how to say yes to the right things and no to the wrong things. And we only find that out through life experience. So the interesting thing for me is these 12 steps, which are on a piece of paper, then translate into living a life experience on a daily basis. Experiencing how these 12 steps help me on a daily basis to make life work as best can be. Not perfect, just making progress, because we do fall back into old behaviour, those things which we feel are safety nets. And for me, the biggest one, obviously, as a coping strategy and using my best friend, was alcohol. And I don't use alcohol anymore, and I simply do that on a daily basis. So the programming, or the brainwashing for me, brainwashed into reality rather than some cockeyed notion of my own invincibility. And I've had that notion well and truly taken away from me. And the higher power for me is listening to the wisdom of so many different people with so many different life stories, with so much experience, strength and hope to share, that I get an understanding of what I can do and what I may not do, or what I choose to do on a daily basis. So step 7 is all about improving our courage, faith and confidence. Those are the big headings. And of course we can then find behaviours under those which will help us, trusting in what is rather than what we would imagine it to be. And in this book, as Bill sees it, I'll start off with that, it's talking about defects and repairs on page 140. And it says here, defects and repairs. More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much an actor. To the outer world he presents his stage character. This is the one he likes his fellows to see. He wants to enjoy a certain reputation, but knows in his heart he doesn't deserve it. Guilt is really the reverse side of the coin of pride. Guilt aims at self-destruction, and pride aims at the destruction of others. Yeah, really, really bad news. The moral inventory, that's step 4, is a cool examination of the damages that occurred to us during life, and a sincere effort to look at them in a true perspective. This has the effect of taking the ground glass out of us, the emotional substance that still cuts and inhibits us. And the difficulty there, if you see, guilt, yeah, reverse side of the coin of pride. So guilt and pride. Guilt is putting ourselves down, and pride could be putting others down. So in step 7, we're trying to look to improve our courage, faith and confidence. Not to undermine anybody else, but maybe improve their courage, faith and confidence as well. And in the daily reflections, another one I use here, or utilise, use sounds a bit odd. It says July 1st, the best for today. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. And that comes from AA's Big Book, page 60. So it's guides to progress. We still have to live the experience of the steps, how the steps work in real life, to make sense of them. Just as a sculptor will use different tools to achieve desired effects in creating a work of art, in Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12 steps are used to bring about results in my own life. I do not overwhelm myself with life's problems and how much more work needs to be done. I let myself be comforted in knowing that my life is now in the hands of my higher power, a master craftsman who is shaping each part of my life into a unique work of art. By working my program, I can be satisfied knowing that in doing the best that we can for today, we are doing all that God asks of us, or good conscience, or our higher power. And the gift for me, the higher power, God works through people, wisdom, experience, strength and hope. We can then become more authentic and ourselves as each day passes, making progress and not perfection. So the best for today is really the answer. The best we can be, given balance and not overwhelming ourselves with all of life's problems at once. So the Serenity Prayer, which I share at the end of these videos, I'm sorry it was a bit faltering today, a lot on my mind, gentle things. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change today, courage to change the things I can today, and wisdom to know the difference, always just for today.